This is a debut drill mixtape that we've been waiting for a pretty long time. And you know what? It's really good to see the progress that Unknown Teens made, and hearing him now have his first body of work, it's always going to be great and it's always going to be a good lesson. So let's get into it. Unknown T, Rise Above Hate. This is an artist that I don't really feel like I need to do an introduction for, so I kind of just want to get straight into it. If drill isn't quite your thing and this Unknown T album isn't something you'd really listen to, like and subscribe and check out the playlist of reviews that's going to be popping up any second now, and you can take a look at any of the other stuff I've done on the channel. I felt, in terms of the open of this album, it's alright. I mean, I guess it's kind of what Unknown T was already known for, and I feel like with these, he was kind of picking up where he left off musically before he ended up in jail, unfortunately. And I do feel, yeah, as far as drill beats go, there's nothing particularly earth-shattering or that interesting going on, but I feel like in terms of the actual verses and the actual rapping, Unknown T gives fans what they wanted, and I feel like to start off with, to kind of ease you into the project, that's fine. I don't really see a problem with that, and it was more my concern is the rest of the tape going to be like that? And it most definitely wasn't. There were plenty of surprises on this tape. The song Addicts with M Huncho did not go anywhere near what I thought it was going to go, to be honest. It was quite different, quite out there. I did kind of like that. I did like the mix-up that they went with on this track. Sometimes I talk about layering on beats and maybe having a bit more complexity on a beat and on an instrumental can make it a bit more interesting and bring it a bit of life. But I think simple works best here. I think it gives room for Unknown T and M Huncho to really just do what they do best. I do like M Huncho's verse. I feel like it really kind of builds a vibe and a tempo for the entire track and a kind of energy to it that kind of keeps you coming along. It kind of gets the blood flowing a bit, and I feel like M Huncho does a really good job of that, especially with his flow, and kind of just builds tempo throughout the entire track. The reason why I think this song stood out to me is because you can kind of see that Unknown T kind of challenged himself in terms of flows. It's a bit out of pocket for what he would usually rap on in terms of flows, which means he has to find different pockets in the beat for his flow to fit into, which means, hey presto, you get a new flow from Unknown T. And it's nice and it suits the song, even though he still conveys the same unique tone of voice that Unknown T is known for, and does have some still witty lyrics spotted in there as he's known for. It still keeps up the standard whilst presenting you with something new, and I really did like that on this song. Mortal Kombat was another track where I felt this sort of way as well. It's a bit more upbeat trap rather than just straight up drill, and in terms of the melodies and stuff, it's kind of a bit closer to Rushy's sound, if anything. I'm actually going to be reviewing Rushy's new project later on, so keep an eye out for that. But I do feel it had that sort of similar sound to it, and yet again, Unknown T finds pockets within the beat and kind of alters his flow to be able to fit. And we're thinking, like, if anything, we're starting to see versatility come out from Unknown T, even though that he has had some stuff that is like drill adjacent, but it's mainly just been drill for Unknown T for a while, especially before Prison. But now he's kind of showed that he can adapt his flows to quite a lot of different sounds, even if they're not strictly completely different genres from drill, but drill adjacent, but just a bit far off of what he was originally rapping on. So I do really like this one for that reason. I think Tugboy was one of my favourites simply because, one, in terms of actual flows and actual rapping and lyrics, I think this was his best lyrical performance on the tape, or at least it was my favourite. And I do find how interesting the beat is because it kind of reminds me of kind of the early 2016 UK drill sound of kind of the grand pianos on the top, the difference in drum pattern, that sort of a thing as well. And it kind of gives even the drill songs on the tape some variety to them, and I did kind of like that. I do like the effort he puts into the lyricism on this one, especially with the kind of Ken lost the pack, where did he get poked, reverse the word Ken. That lyric was quite nice. Lyrics like that all kind of dotted around this one. I feel like this is the one that just had the most of it put behind it, even though there are probably so many other punchlines I could have picked out in the previous songs. This one stood out to be the most in that facet. So Prison has the best drill beat on the entire tape, but that's not really surprising when we've got JB and Ghosty working together. I mean, what else do you really need me to say?
Name is talk too much. Where's my brother Flips, man?
And then we start looking at the features and the songs in which they feature on, and that, it's a bit of a sticky one still. Let me explain. I think people who've been watching my videos for a while now know exactly what I'm going to say next about which song. Why the fuck did you sing on Main Squeeze? Why? Why?
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen? Oh my God.
Why do you do this to me? You all are just trying to kill me from high blood pressure. Why? You've got Young T and Bugsy on the song, fulfilling that end of what is coming together to make the song as part of song structure. You singing there didn't add anything. Literally did not add anything. Because you have Young T and Bugsy there to do that sort of thing for you. So why do you need... Why? Why? And then we have LV. I don't know what it is going to take for this country to realize the young ads struggles to sing in tune and consistently picks bad melodies. When are we going to clock this? Like, when is this country going to put 2 and 2 together? I don't know. Like, his verses on this, on LV, it's kind of just a combination of him not understanding his vocal range, his vocal ability just not being very good, as in the notes he's trying to hit, he's just not hitting them very well and very cleanly at all. And then you've actually got the actual melody that he picked in terms of how he decided to sing on it that just wasn't very good and didn't complement the melody of the instrumental at all. So you just get, well, a fucking mess. The kind of deeper, quieter register of Unknown T's voice in terms of the intro before Young Ad's verse, and he kind of uses it again later, I just found it pretty boring. And even then, the kind of instrumental, I feel like some of the 808 slides are kind of put in almost random places. Like, it just feels random. It doesn't feel like it kind of chimes in at different points that's kind of complimentary. It just feels really random. I don't know why. I don't really know why. I guess if I knew a bit more about producing, I might be able to tell you why. But me, don't really know why. Now, as much as I grilled him for singing earlier, SS Interlude, it didn't make my ears bleed, which was a nice surprise, honestly. But jokes aside, I generally think it was alright. I generally did like that I felt like it fitted into his vocal range. I didn't feel like it was kind of like he's not really adding much, or it kind of kills the vibe of the song. It's well written interlude, actually. I do think that lyrically, in terms of content, it really does get across what he's trying to say and the emotions he's trying to convey to you, which hence why it's an interlude. It's kind of a little break from all the other craziness that's going along, where he can kind of envisions a different situation, a different idea, a romance of sorts. It's kind of a bit more of a love ballad, but it's not really a love ballad because Unknown T he gets a bit too raunchy with it, which maybe you can kind of have it either way. Maybe that's what he meant, and that was just kind of the relationship he wanted to define within this interlude. Or the other aspects where it's just like, some of the bars, you just needed to just a little bit less CD society, just a little bit, just a tad. Event Niners, I struggle whether this is my favourite Jill song or not, because I did like Tugboy quite a lot. But in terms of features, in terms of actual tracklist lineup, this has the best lineup. And bear in mind, this is literally what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted a drill song with pretty much every main Homerton member in it. Sadly, Jimmy is missing. It would have been nice to have Jimmy on it, but it's still nice to have all three of them on a track together. They all do their individual thing. They all deliver exactly the same reason you like them. KO is lyrical. Unknown T comes with the flows. V9 comes with that stabby, aggressive flow that he always comes with, and kind of outrageous one-liners that he comes up with as well sometimes. They all kind of give their signature and what they do best. So this song, you can't really fault it. Even R14, in terms of the beat, he does really well there as well. So big props to him for that placement. And so, yeah, I'd struggle whether this is my favourite drill song or not, because I did like Tugboy a lot. I'm going to give this a C+. I felt like it didn't really have a project concept for it. It was kind of Unknown T kind of not necessarily reflecting on his life in any great detail. It's more kind of been about showcasing what he can do, what he's capable of, and kind of giving the fans what they want, and then some of what he's capable of, switching up a bit, switching up the flows, and switching up some beats too. But I do feel like some features were just, some songs were kind of badly executed, some features should have just never existed, and that kind of plagued this tape quite a bit. I do feel like some of the drill beats just weren't that interesting, especially the first 2 tracks. I didn't really think, as far as drill beats go, neither of them really were doing very much for Unknown T, and it felt like Unknown T was having to just fill it, because it was just an empty space that the beat was leaving, because it wasn't that interesting. At the same time as some features being a bit lackluster, in some aspects, some of the features were the highlight of the tape. I do feel like having KO and V9 with Unknown T on the tune was a great idea, and M Huncho, that collab was really unexpected, but it worked out really well, and it actually brought out a side of Unknown T that we haven't really seen before. Try and switch up and do something different, and he really did accomplish something. So that's the end of the review. Thank you for watching. As always, like and subscribe if you like anything I'm doing on the channel. Big rants is on the way. Quick rants running on the Instagram page, and then also I've got my Free Yourself from Suffering series. There's now a part 2 out. Take a look at that if you're interested in some new artists to listen to. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll tune in the future. Peace. Can be quite adaptable, but I just feel like some of the songs, fuck. This is the debut drill mixtape that we've... Fuck. I do like the little kind of Easter egg lyric. That's kind of...